Okay, so um, basically I'm just gonna show you what the original Saints Row gangs would be driving if they existed in this game. At least my interpretation of it. Alright, so we'll start off with the Vice Kings, I guess. This is sort of the front was obviously a West Side Rollers car, the back was Las Canales car, so I did the overall colour as Vice Kings. So yeah, it's a combination of all three gangs in one. Las Canales interior with the red and white, blue underglow. Got um, West Side Rollers wheel on the front and Vice Kings wheel on the back. Um, let's see if we can find the first Vice Kings vehicle. Ah yeah, the Baracus 2. Oh, it's only 2 because that's the second Baracus I own. Right, got it. So yeah, this would be one of the Vice Kings vehicles. A lot of people keep saying that the Vice Kings never drove vans, but you see them drive vans in quite a few missions, and I believe if you get a high enough notoriety, they also drive vans. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, so this would be one of, I think I've designed 3 vehicles for each gang. I'm just gonna do a bit of a drive. Obviously, with this being the new Saints Row, I've upgraded them all to have nitrous and the 3 upgrade bars that it gets and the tow cable on the back, but obviously the Vice Kings wouldn't actually have those unless it was mission specific. And then um, there we go, the Dreadnought, which to me resembles the original Compton a lot more than the current Compton. But yeah, definitely think the Vice Kings would be driving this around. Just seems right. I think the game is stuttering. Frame rate issues. Could be wrong, but it feels like it is. And where is Vice King's vehicle number 3? There it is, the East Wolf. Because as well as lowriders and vans, the Vice Kings are known for their luxury sedans. And I figure this was a good fit. There is a reason I didn't use the standard sedan, which is used for like the taxi and that one. There's a reason I didn't use that one, and I'll explain that when we get to that crew. And I wish I could see if my driving gets any better than this. Oh my god, the frame rate is so bad. I don't know if that's a me problem or a game problem. West Side Rollers, I usually do them next. I think most of their vehicles are way down the list. Oh, that was a bit of a spoiler there. Oh, there we go. Number 1. The Mockingbird. You know, of the games the Mockingbird has appeared in, oh, radio stations. Of all of the variants of the Mockingbird I've seen, this, I do like this one. But I think my favourite one, possibly the Saints Row 4 version. Still like this one though. Oh. Can't tell you how many times I have knocked the seating area over at Freckle Bitches in any game. Or FBs, I mean. So that was the Mockingbird. What is next? Oh, there we go. So there we go. The Olive. That was the name of the vehicle. I couldn't remember. So yeah, I didn't use that for the Vice Kings because I used it for the West Side Rollers. Because the West Side Rollers do have the Zemos, and this felt like a it just felt like a cross between the Zemos and the Vauxhall from Saints Row 1 and 2, because the Vauxhall was, it could be used as a standard sedan, or it could be used as a racer, or, you know, tuned out, you know, well, like this. So yeah, this felt like a good replacement for both the Zemos and the Vauxhall. And then number 3. What was the third one? This one, the Whip. It just felt like a 4-door version of the Mockingbird, and it, you know, it feels like it belongs to the West Side Rollers. Like it would belong to the West Side Rollers if they were in this game. If Lynn was in the game, what would her vehicle be? I would go with the Olive. Again, the Olive seemed similar to the Vauxhall. I did use it as a replacement, so I think she would drive a customized version of the Olive. On to Los Cornales. Not the Los Cornales, because that would be incorrect. There we go, the Ethel. Los Cornales were very much into lowriders, and this seemed like a good lowrider. I know in the original Saints Row they had, what was the name of you? It was used as a demolition derby car as well. I never remember the name of it, but it was a 4-door. It looked like it was meant to be a lowrider, but the wheels always seemed like super huge on it. There was that, and there was also the Hollywood. But yeah, I didn't want too many of the gangs to share similar vehicles in this game, so I already used the Compton for another gang and the Dreadnought, so I figured the Ethel was good for Los Cornales. And there we go, the Grandad. Yeah, this definitely, well, I mean, it is basically the Betsy, and that was a Los Cornales vehicle. So, of course, I was using this for them. Okay, and last one on the list. I think we all know where this is going. If I ever get there. The Hollywood. Because of course. It was in the very first cutscene of the game, and it just such a nice car. And it always looked good. I don't know if you noticed, but for Los Canales, I didn't want to use gold rims because I figured I'd use a lot of gold on these gang vehicles, so I went with like a metallic red, because I'm pretty sure a couple of the vehicles did have like a red and gold or red and white combo on the wheels, and I thought red just looked better. It's the same with the Grandad and the Ethel. But yeah, just this car, every time I see it, it always looked good in the Los Canales, in the Canales crew. I think red is just, I mean, Nina's Hollywood did look pretty cool, but yellow doesn't suit it as much as red does. Okay, with the original 3 gangs out of the way, we now move on to Saints Row 2, and I will be starting off with I'll start off with the Ronin. Now, there wasn't many sort of like rounded sedans to go off of in this game, so I had to reuse the East Wolf again, as it seemed like the best fit, and definitely with all this customization. So I used this for the Ronin, obviously gave it a slightly different shade of yellow. I think the Vice Kings used like an orangey yellow, whereas this is more yellow. But yeah, this seemed very similar to the Wakizashi, or whatever it was called. So I decided to use it for the Ronin. And then again, the little 2-door sort of sports car thing that the Ronin had. Couldn't really find anything in this game that was super similar to that, so the other 2 Ronin vehicles are both the Kenshin. However, I did try to make them look as different as possible. There we go. So that's the first Kenshin. Ah, the bikes do have tow cables. I didn't know if that would be a thing or not. Again, there might have been a few missions in this game, if those gangs were included, where 1 or 2 of their gang vehicles might require a tow cable for a specific mission. You never know. Although, usually in any Saints Row game, if you've got a mission with a unique gang vehicle, it's usually not one that's a standard gang vehicle. Like the Ronin had Junichi's car, which you never actually get unless it's through mods, which was the Zircon, I believe. And then there's also the, oh man, what do you call it? The big motorhome that the Brotherhood had. It was a drug lab or something. Oh, I forgot to give you a good look at the second version. If the Saints get out the way. So yeah, this is the second Kenshin design I went for. One of the two is meant to look more like the Tetsuo. But yeah, most gangs in Saints Row, in the original Saints Rows, had unique gang vehicles for missions that required them. I believe the Brotherhood also had a bulldog at some point, as well as the um, Sons of Sandy having a bulldog as well. The General's bulldog. Which I was sure there'd be a bulldog in this game, but no, not even a version of it with a different name. But we do have plenty of off-road vehicles, and any vehicle can be fitted with an off-road kit, so I guess the bulldog would have been kinda redundant at that point. Here we go, the Sons of Sandy, and this is my first choice, the Compton, that's right, the Compton. And with there being no Hun 4 since Saints Row 2, I figured I'd give the Sons of Sandy vehicles the type of rooftop that the Hun 4 had, just as a sort of nod. But yeah, the Sons of Sandy were very much limited to lowriders. Although I guess all of the Saints Row 2 vehicles were more what's the word? There is a word. You know, they had a theme. Brotherhood used trucks, Ronin used sports cars and bikes, Sons of Sandy used lowriders, whereas in the first game, there was a kind of a mix. It was only the colours really that kept the theme of the vehicles to one specific crew. I have no idea what the other vehicles I chose for the... Oh, that's a spoiler. Sons of Sandy. I tried to put more thought into the Sons of Sandy vehicles, but it was really difficult. All the other crew vehicles seemed easier. Ah, there we go, the Reaper. Since there's no General's limo, I decided to go with this. Seemed like a Sons of Sandy style vehicle. What was the third one? I really have no idea. Compton, the Reaper. Is there any other lowriders or sedans in this game? I know for a fact I didn't reuse the Ethel. The Ethel's a decent car, but I spent ages customizing it in the garage and then my game crashed, so none of it saved. That was kind of irritating. What is the final... Oh, of course, the Shield 4-door version of the Stiletto. And once again I gave it that similar rooftop to the General's Hun 4. That was a really cool limo. Can't believe it only made it a 1 game. But, I mean, the Gentry is a good limo, but the Hun 4 was, although I guess I liked the Hun 4 more because it was a unique vehicle that was hard to get hold of. That's why I've got 2 variants of the bathtub in this game. Although that's not really rare, it has a spawn, it's just 1 spawn. So you could technically have a whole garage full of bathtubs if you really wanted to. And I think I've saved the best to last, the one I put the most thought and detail into. Here we go. And if this doesn't give away which crew this is, then I don't know what will. Obviously, I gave all the Brotherhood vehicles off-road kits because it just seemed right, making the vehicles more raised and more truck-like. The Lexington is not a bad vehicle, especially considering it shares the same name as me, Lexi. But it's very low down. But if you raise it up, I think it looks very similar to the Legion from Saints Row 2. So yeah, that's why I used it for the Brotherhood. I believe most of the rest of them are down here somewhere. Ah, there we go. The Ridgelord. There wasn't really a vehicle that was too similar to either the Alaskan or the Compensator, so this was sort of like a combination of both. But yeah, definitely figure if the Brotherhood was in this game, they'd be driving this. The geometric print, the reason that I used that for the Brotherhood is, well, when I was making Mero's monster truck, I put it on the monster truck and it felt right, because I was making the monster truck and I was looking at it and I was like, it still doesn't look quite right. And then I put the geometric print on and I just thought, you know what, that fits. But then later I discovered that as I was making the Sons of Samedi vehicles and the Ronin vehicles, it also kind of worked for those too, which kind of became an issue because I thought, yeah, because a lot of the detailing, the the decals on the gang vehicles in Saints Row 2, they involved a lot of black, white, and some of them had a bit of a tan thing going on. But yeah, it just worked for all of them. But it worked for the Brotherhood more, and when it came to the Sons of Samedi vehicles, not all of the vehicles I picked had the geometric print available. Same goes for the Ronin. So I just stuck with it for the Brotherhood. And correct me if I'm wrong, but when I show you the Brotherhood monster truck, which you may have already seen when I've been scrolling through the vehicles, you might agree that it looks right. Okay, so there we go, Mero's monster truck. And unlike Saints Row 4, I've tried to give it the same bumpers as it had in Saints Row 2, because in Saints Row 4 they used that like that straight metal plated bumper, which just isn't what Mero had. So I don't know why I chose it in Saints Row 4, unless it was just to show off the new customization options that the vehicle had. But this one is a lot more faithful to Mero's original monster truck. Obviously there's nothing I could do about the netted windows and the engine being in the back, but you know, if Mero was in this game, I'm pretty sure this would be what he'd be driving. I was going to try and recreate a few other vehicles, like try and make the Gentry look like the General Slimo, and try and make Junichi's Akuji's bike, but it just wasn't happening. So instead I decided to give each gang a monster truck. That's just my monster truck. So yeah, there's Mero's, and then this would be Los Carnales, and it just looks so weird with the thin tyres, but I'm pretty sure most of Los Canales' vehicles had like thin wheels, so I figure it fits. And again, the Canales aren't big on, you know, stuff like what the Brotherhood vehicle had with all the extra exhausts and everything, so I try to make it look sort of, you know, sleek and fancy. Let's see who's next on the list. Obviously I didn't do the Gargantuas in order because I started off with Mero's Monster Truck was the very first gang vehicle I tried to recreate in this game. So yeah. There we go. We have West Side Rollers. I didn't want every single gang monster truck to have the same frame, so since West Side Rollers are all about racing, I figured this would be what they would go for to try and make the monster truck faster. And obviously you've got the oversized racing tyres on there. And if it wasn't for making most of the frame blue, you'd barely able to tell that this car is blue, so that's why it has a blue frame. And then Vice Kings. Once again, Vice Kings were more about style rather than, you know, bulking up the vehicles. So, and again, with the style rims they have, they usually have thin tires. So it's another vehicle, another monster truck with thin tires. I still can't believe that's an actual option. Ah, here we go. Sons of Sandy. Of course I went with the Reaper themed frame, or shell, whatever you want to call it. Breaks up the monotony of seeing the standard Gargantua frame, which is the same as the Atlas Breaker, or very similar. I probably should have saved this one till last because the Ronin one really isn't that impressive, but I wanted each gang to have a monster truck. I did the same thing in Saints Row 2, but obviously there's only the Atlas Breaker in Saints Row 2, so every gang vehicle, every gang monster truck looked pretty much the same. The only difference was the colours I used to decorate them. Yeah, so it looked too similar to the Vice Kings one, so to differentiate a bit, I gave this one white paneling on the side. However, this one doesn't use gold for the rims and the trim, so there is that. Oh yeah, this is the Brotherhood bathtub, obviously. Don't know why, I just had to do it. And then this is my bathtub. I like the tiny wheels. Although it does make the kneecappers stand out a bit more.
Newsflash.
And
Santo Ileso.
oh my god, I hate the radio. Well, I was gonna do the same with the helicopters and the boats, but there's really not that many to choose from yet. I'm hoping more gets added to the game. Oh, talk about an annoying move. That was kind of abrupt, but I just remembered. So you've got, like, well, you've got these two vehicles here to choose from. And I'm pretty sure there's like one or two more vehicles out here, boats out here you can grab and customize. Like that was one there. That's the same one, but there's probably another one somewhere. Why would they put a massive yacht in the game for you to drive around, but not be able to customize? There it is there.
She was among several racers competing in an unsanctioned go-kart event in the financial district when she lost
Is that a
control
different
of
one?
her vehicle and crashed.
Ooh, yeah, I like that one. Look at this. Massive yacht. Oh, nope. I'll never catch up with it now. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No, I'm never catching up with that. Alright, come on. Get ahead of it. Ow. That did. Oh, there we go. Alright, so this thing. When I first got into this thing, I was like, ooh, I can't wait to see what I can do with this. And it does look very similar to the yacht, the executive yacht from Saints Row 2. But actually drivable. Oh, I guess it would have been cool as a crib as well. But yeah, I was so excited to see what I could do with this. But then as soon as I took it back to the crib, it's like, nope, can't have it. Too big. Why put it in the game? Why? That's just toying with my emotions. This would have been such a cool vehicle to customize. You could have had it like open topped, or could have maybe, I don't know, could have been some customization options. And you could have been allowed to save it, because now every time I want to drive one of these, I've got to go out and find one. And if I want one that's like purple with gold trim or whatever, that's never going to happen. And this kind of vehicle won't fit here. Because, of course, could have just made the boathouse a little bit bigger. Or allow you to park it in one of these spaces. Let it have its own slot for customization. But to just have it in the game but not let it be customizable? I mean, no way. I want to customize the big yacht. I don't miss having an airport, to be honest with you, because every airport we've had whether it be Stillwater or Steelport, it just, you get lost. You get stuck in certain areas that if you don't have a vehicle, it takes forever to get somewhere. However, one good thing about this city, there's no sort of areas you can fly over that'll automatically give you a 4-star wanted level. At least none that's within the general city area. There is obviously the frontier, but since it's out the way, you never really have to worry about accidentally flying over it. So that's pretty cool. Alright. Where is it? Where is it? I know I'm a bit nitpicky, but I just have to. Yeah. Yeah. Just not a big deal, but yeah. Kind of didn't expect to see any of that. But I mean, it's, you know, um, let's finish it up by going to the penthouse to relax. Where did I place it? Is that it over there? Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, that's right, there's no bed in here. Um, let's go to a crib that does have a bed then. You know what, let's drive there. Ooh, can I make it in 4 minutes?
Better not get mugged again. Saints, just another. Look at you with your bad self.
Gotta say, I love this car though. I would have thought that the Hollywood would be the front half, but yeah, I don't mind the Mockingbird being the front half. Also, very, very nice of them to use two classic cars. Two classic Saints Row cars. I know that they're not classified as classic cars in the game, but yeah, well, the Hollywood might be.
Newsflash. Santo Ileso. An anarchist plot to blow up the Santo Ileso sign proved unsuccessful when the explosives failed to detonate. Police are currently investigating the connection between this plot and a violent gun battle at a nearby idol's house party. This is Juana Villalobos, reporting for the Star Register News Network.
Oh, that's right, the garage isn't here anymore. Yeah. But oddly enough, the bed still is, so I'm confused. Is this a crib or is it not? Because it would be nice if it was still a crib, but I have a feeling that it's not meant to be. Though if it's not meant to be, I'd prefer it if it was. So, yeah. Because, I mean, there's no armory anymore. No wardrobe. No garage. But there's still a bed. It's usable too. Again, like I say, I'd love to still keep it as a crib. But it seems like they didn't want it to be a crib anymore. But I like to have lots of cribs in a game. Makes accessing features such as the garage and the weapons cache a lot easier. Because you don't have to drive very far, you can just hop round the corner. I mean, yeah, we have friendly fire and clothing stores and one Jim Rob's, which is very close to the church. You know, it would have been nice if we could have placed it over here or, you know, up here or even just somewhere up here somewhere, but no, apparently it was always meant to be here. Which is why I am glad that I was able to place the tower anyway, because it means at least I can customize vehicles when I pick them up on this side of the city. Because with my terrible driving, by the time I get it to where I need to get it to, which is, you know, either here or here, it's pretty much destroyed. Or blown up. So yeah. Other than that though, having fun with this game so far. Can't wait to see what else gets added to it. Because, storyline didn't... Ooh. Yes. Storyline didn't take too long to complete. Not as long as I thought it would. It would be nice if I could, you know, just replay those classic storyline moments without having to replay the entire game from scratch. But I guess mission replay is a thing of the past in open world games anyway. Wait, where was I heading? I had something on my mind. Oh, I remember what it is now. Yeah. Video's already 45 minutes long. I'm going to it anyway, because it seems like something's about to happen. I'm pretty sure in GTA 5, whenever they were thinking about adding new content to the game, little construction sites would appear around the map to symbolize that something was getting added. Like, I'm pretty sure before the racetrack thing, the little casino thing that was there, before that was a feature, it was a construction site, I'm fairly sure. I could be wrong. The building might always have been there, but I don't know, it seems like I'm remembering it like that. Get a move on! See, now I like little features like this. Little burger joint. Dirty Mike's. Because obviously we've got all the big name brands like FBs and stuff like that, Joe Cola. But it's nice to see that the little guy still gets a mention. Route 66, yes. Oh, I just love that this game has like a desert setting. And it does feel a lot like my trip to America along Route 66. Now I get to go there whenever I want thanks to this game. Here we are. I mean, I know obviously after the mission with the sign that fell down, there'd be a construction site here anyway, but if you notice, the sign is actually back up and fixed, so there's not really a reason to have all the roadworks here unless something was getting added to the game and it was just across this bridge. That's my thoughts. I mean, I know there's a bridge further down, but as you can see, it doesn't even appear on the map, so maybe this bridge will actually lead somewhere. Who knows? Can't wait to find out though. Ah, the piano. I have that by me bar. Ooh, with the remaining 10 minutes I could go and show my arrangement of the... You know what, I'm gonna teleport there because it's gonna be a lot quicker than driving. Oops. Another feature I don't mind, because sometimes you just end up getting stranded in nowhere, in the middle of nowhere. And if you're on co-op, vehicles and pedestrians have a tendency to just not spawn in if you're too far apart. So yeah, you can literally get stranded in nowhere. Okay, so we'll start outside. I never really had specific spawns for the two outdoor big statues, but with the DLC ones arriving, I figured I'd put them outside. They'll probably change again, but that's what they are for now. The two variants of the porta potty are on the front door. The front porch. Oh.
Look at sharp.
We've got the Turdus on this side, classic reference, and the Idols one there.
I just think people need to stay the fuck away from Mars.
Then we go in, we'll go to the lounge area. I did not know there was a wall sign here for my entire first run through and second run through of the game. I only just recently discovered that there's a wall sign there, so that's where I put Route 66. This is where I have the Cabot.
Wow.
The Codex over by the bar. And the piano, as mentioned before. Red Faction Brewworks. I've played a few Red Faction games. Pretty decent. I love Red Faction Guerrilla, where you can destroy stuff and then just instantly rebuild them, just to destroy them again. Is that Red Fox or something? I believe it had a name. I don't remember what it is. I just like the sign. Calico Queen and the, what is it called, the Worthy Hammer or something? I know what it's a reference to though. We have the Angel there, spacesuit here, and this thing here. And then up in the center we have the Saint statue.
Looks great.
So that's the crib layout.
Why would anyone ever leave a beautiful area like this? I could do this forever.
Again, you unlock a lot of placeable statues. Oh, I forgot about this one. Yeah, the throne in the lounge. But yeah, it seems like you unlock a lot of statues, but you can have very few of them on display. Like, you unlock a lot of these ones, but you can only have 3 on display.
Oh,
I
there's
mean, I know
no
obviously
heaven
if you
there.
can have all of them on display, then like every single stat you unlock on display,
I love it.
then there's not going to be much variation. A lot of people have the same layouts,
The Terrion is a
so it is
soft.
best
Let's
to
go.
minimize what you can have on display, so that way not everyone's
Right.
church is going to look the same. But
Last time I
it'd be
bet on
nice if we could have
Santo.
just a few more of them on display. Like, I think you'd be able to have a wall sign there, definitely. Um, maybe have a few, like these little
This
cubby
is the
holes here. Have a few of the
best!
small statues.
Right turn.
Uh, down this one and the one on the other side. Maybe find a place to put
I just
one
won't put
more
up with
medium
anyone's bullshit
statue
anymore.
on display. But yeah, just, I don't know.
Oh, there's nothing
And
better.
there's plenty of outside areas where you could have the biggest statues
I'll
on
tell my brother
display.
you said hi. Very
And then we've got my criminal ventures up in Monte Vista. We have Eureka Beta, but just with it being a sort of house, I put it in the mansion area because it is a big house. It's not as big as the mansions, but still, I think it fits that area. Then we have First Strike Dojo in Marina West, which was kind of ironic considering, kind of coincidental considering the main Final Fist boss was also stationed there, just along the road. We have Cactus Radio in Marina East. Dunno, just seemed like the place to have a radio station. I wanted Castle Kraken to be out in one of the 4 deserts, mimicking its rivals, but there was no desert placements for uh, ventures, so this was the closest to the desert. So I put it in Old Town East. I figured the Saints would want a hospital nearby, nearby the HQ, so Shady Oaks is in Old Town West. Uh, Chalupa Cabra, I think I looked around the area and thought, you know what, a food court would be handy here, so East Providencia gets the food related one. Obviously Gem Robs goes there by default. This seemed like the kind of area, Mercado, that would need a laundromat since there's a lot of houses and stuff. I wanted to get on, what's the name of this gang? No, I don't know what the name of this gang is, it's gone. Panteros, yes. I wanted to get on the Panteros nerves, so they're all about vehicles, so I figure having a vehicle repo would really annoy them since I could nick the vehicles anytime. And then there wasn't really anywhere I felt the big one would fit in, so I think this was one of the last areas I had spare, so it went here. Uh, with all the bright lights and the way it looks, I felt Cutting Edge fit in with the casino district. I wanted the Saints Tower to be opposite the church and on the opposite side of the city, and I also wanted it to be close to the lake, give the Saints a nice view. So it went in East Flats, then Let's Pretend went in West Flats, and the best way to annoy Marshall would be to ruin downtown for them, so that's why Bright Future went there. And This Planet Saints, it just feels right in this district. I don't know why. Ah, that was the other reason I put Eureka Beta here, because obviously the idols are all about bringing down the establishment and not being, not relying on money to get what they need, and they generally try and destroy all forms of tech and stuff like that. So I figure a money-funded tech business was a good way to annoy um, the idols. uh, that's about all I've got, and I think I'll end the video here.